are again. Um, Numerologist Patrick Lindsay. I've been doing this for about 12 years now. This is part two of a two-part series on the numbers. We spoke last time about the numbers 1 through 5. Now we're going to deal with the numbers 6 through 9. As I said before, anytime you're dealing with people, especially online, if they've got 1-800 numbers up there, if they've got websites they're trying to guide you to, stay away from their asses because they're probably trying to get into your pockets. And like I said last time, with this bad economy that we're dealing with right now, the last thing you need is to be trying to get good advice and having to pay for it. Here you're getting advice for free. So I mean, that's what people want in life. They want something that's going to help them, but they want it for free. So I mean, here you go. You can't get any better than this. The number six is basically a number that deals with family. Family and how you feel about family. If you have 1-6 in your birthday, you're going to feel for family. You're going to like to be around them. You're going to want to do things for them. Two or more sixes in your birthday means you may worry about them a lot. You may take a lot of things that happen with family to heart. Mike Tyson, for example, Mike Tyson has a lot of four. I think he's got 4 6s in his birthday, and look what happened to him. I mean, here he was. He was raised in an orphanage. Customata came and got him out of there and brought him to him and to his around his family and gave him a real good foundation. And he thrived. I mean, he really was able to move forward. He was able to just really thrive. As soon as the old man died, what happened? Everything went to pot. Tyson started falling off the rails. He married that broad. She started pulling money out of his account. Her raggedy mother was there also. She started siphoning money out of his ass. People were trying to gaffle him on every turn, promoters and this, that, and the other, and that's what caused him to go cuckoo. He didn't really go cuckoo. He just lost his base. He lost his family, and that killed him. That was the end of him. So, the number six, family. That's all. That's it. The number seven has got a lot to do with losses. If you have 1-7 in your birthday, you're gonna have to deal with some kind of loss during your life. It could be a loss of money, it could be loss of life, it could be loss of a loved one. Something's gonna happen during your life that's gonna have to do with losses. Um, two or more sevens, you're gonna have to deal with it sometimes, sometime during your adulthood, during your adult life. If you have 1-7, you can deal with it as a child. Probably by the time you turn 20, you should have that seven behind you. But if you got 2 7s or more, I had one guy, he had 4 7s. I did a consultation for him. He had 4 7s. I mean, Jesus. I mean, the father had passed away. The mother was killed. The brother was in jail. The sister was whoring. I mean, it was a bad situation. And I just told him, I said, you gain strength with those sevens. You gain strength by having to deal with those losses. So just be aware that if you do have the sevens, you're gonna have to deal with them, but you're gonna gain strength behind them. So it's not a total loss. And don't go flying off the deep end or whatever. Just be aware you're gonna gain strength behind it. The number eight is not really an important number. It has to deal with details. The numbers 2, 5, and 8 are emotional numbers, so 8 also has to do with details, but with emotion. But it also has a lot to do with details. How you handle detailed work. A lot of bank people and people that numbers crunchers, they deal a lot with them. They have a lot of eights in their birthday because you're good at crunching numbers. You're good at paying attention to finer things that the average person won't see. The number nine is important because everyone now, all adults now have a nine in their birthday, and that's one of the key numbers right now because the nine stands for ambition. And what's happening now is kids that are being born don't have that automatic nine, so they're not going to have that automatic drive and ambition that we had when we were youngsters and we were growing up. And 1 9 is fine because you have ambition. 2 9s means you're very ambitious. You really want to achieve something in your life. 3 9s or more, I always call it. I always say that it's mountain out of a molehill because those people with 3 or more 9s on their birthday will make a big deal out of nothing. They'll be very smart. They'll be very intellectually inclined because the numbers 3, 6, and 9, as we spoke about before, it has to do with brain power and intellect. So 3, 6, and 9s are your intellectual numbers. People with a lot of nines, they will be intellectually motivated and inclined, but there will also be a bit of a um, you know big deal out of nothing type person. So just be aware of that. I gave you the numbers now. this, like I said, this is the second part of a two-part series. Um, just be aware that all signs also have character traits. So I deal with Chinese numerology and Chinese astrology. So the astrological signs have got their own traits. So say for example, if you're year of the snake, you don't need a lot of numbers on the intellect line because snake is already intellectually inclined. He's already an alert person, so he needs more numbers on the line of emotion, which is 258. So if you're a snake, you don't have any numbers on that line, it'll make you more emotionally detached. So just be aware that you've got to balance out what the animal signs, his traits are versus the numbers. It's not all one big ball of wax like people think make you think it is, and it's also not your number six is in the eighth house of the Venus of the Jupiter, all that kind of shit that you see on these sites now. That's what I'm trying to basically do is let you know that these sites, a lot of them, they're out to get their hands to your pocket. So if somebody comes in there and tells you that they know the numbers and they don't explain the numbers to you basically the way I explain them to you, because this is right out of the book. This is not something I've made up. This is not throwing some bones on the ground or whatever, or howling at the moon. This is basically straight out of numerology books that have been around for centuries. So if they come to you with anything other than these meanings or whatever, you need to get the hell out of there as soon as you can. Okay? Take care of yourself. Hopefully this was a good help to you. If it wasn't, you can throw it by the wayside. If it was, then more power to you, brother. Take care.